Guardians are opening a 3-game set tonight against the Houston Astros, who just called up their top offensive prospect.
Yeah.
Joey Loperfido is how you pronounce his name.
Right.
He leads all of minor league baseball with 13 home runs this season. He'll make his debut against the Guardians. So I wanted to ask you guys.
Yeah.
Kyle Manzardo is also on a heater down in Columbus. How close are we to seeing Kyle Manzardo up here in Cleveland?
Well, Jason talk about him every time I see him that he's coming.
Yeah.
So
I think this is
better by now. I would thought by tomorrow.
I'm surprised. Now, like obviously overall they've hit pretty well.
Yes.
So it's not like they're desperate, but he's ready to play in the majors.
Yeah.
I would call him up. Now, I thought this series was a perfect series to call him up because the Astros have been one of the worst pitching staffs in the league. It's 3 straight right-handed pitchers. Hunter Brown, who's going tonight, has been absolutely awful.
Yeah.
They got Verlander, who we know what Verlander is, but it's only his 3rd start since coming off the injured list. And I watched Verlander's last start because it was against the Cubs, and he had no command. And then their 3rd starter in this series, who's starting for them at the final game? Oh, it's the rookie, Arrighetti, who's not been very good either. So I thought this was a great – and they usually like to bring guys up in good weather, which you're going to get in Houston, on the road, so there's a little less pressure. I thought it was great. He's got to be up in the next 2 weeks, doesn't he?
I would imagine so.
I don't know what they're doing here.
I think part of it was what you said, that they're playing well. They're scoring runs.
Yes.
And Stephen Vogt's hitting all the right buttons. And I wonder if part of it is they were not sure yet who to part with.
Well,
that's what I want to know. If he comes up, who's not in the lineup?
So yesterday, if you missed the Ultimate Cleveland Guardians show with Zach and I, make sure you go check it out. It's now live every week, Mondays at 10 a.m. And we were talking about this, Jason. And, I said that my first thought is that if it were up to me, I'd probably let Ramon Laureano go. But I doubt they'll do it because they paid him a decent, for them, a lot of money. Zach did make a good point that they have so many left-handed hitters that they probably want to keep him because he's right-handed. Yeah. And then he said Estevan Florial, which is probably the most likely guy. Now, if they get rid of Florial, he's got to clear waivers. So somebody might pick him up because he has no options left.
I think it's more likely that Florial gets claimed than Laureano. Laureano's making $5 million.
Well, nobody's claiming Laureano.
Okay,
right.
So DFA Laureano, if he clears waivers and if he'll accept it, send him to Columbus.
And if he doesn't, he doesn't.
Yeah, if he doesn't, he doesn't.
But Zach brought up the right-handed thing. Okay, I think it's possible because maybe they don't feel with Manzardo up, he'll have enough at-bats that they could send down, what do you call it, Will Brennan. But another possibility is sending down Rocchio. And, making Arias the everyday shortstop.
I hope not for you that he don't get sent down.
Well, I think that ship has sailed on him being an all-star, so whether he's up or not.
What is Kyle hitting down in Columbus?
I don't know what his exact batting average is.
.299. 6 home runs.
Here's the bottom line. His potential is better than more than half, or at least half of the Guardians lineup. So he needs to be up here. Because as well as they've done scoring runs, there's still some holes in this lineup, clearly.
And he's almost 24 years old.
It's enough already.
It's not like he's 20 or 21.
No, right.
He's 23. He's going to be 24 in, I think, July. And then he turns – there's guys who've been in the majors for 3-4 years that are 24 years old.
Yeah.
So it's time to get him up here. He and Naylor can switch off first base DH.
Yep.
I still would make it Laureano. Gabi Arias can handle the right-handed at-bats. At some point, they got to make a decision on shortstop. And I realized, this was Rocchio's job to run with, and he hasn't done that.
Yeah.
But, you got to make a decision at some point. It's been years now that they haven't been able to decide between all of these prospects. Yeah. So that part's a little frustrating. But I thought it was going to be Florial. That Yankee series, I'll go all the way back to the Yankee series. Yeah. I think I said it on the show. When Florial started those 2 games, it sort of felt like, okay, here's your chance because you're out. And he responded. He had a good series. And he's produced at times for them. So but
you look at these.
I think for sure he gets claimed. If you put him on waivers, I think he's going to get
because
claimed.
he hasn't had enough of an opportunity.
And he doesn't make anything.
I think Laureano makes sense. I think Brennan could make sense, and I think Rocchio could make sense. The bottom line is you're not getting a ton of production out of a few different spots in the lineup. Yeah. Manzardo has a good chance. No guarantee. Hey, look, the Orioles called up Jackson Holiday. He's the best prospect in baseball, and he went, I think, 1 for 30 or 1 for 35.
21 strikeouts.
And they sent him back to the minors.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's not going to be great. He probably will be great.
Right.
But whatever. It didn't work for him the first time up. And Manzardo could come up, stink, and have to go back to the minors. It's possible. But it's time for him to get an opportunity.
I actually hadn't considered the Rocchio, but I kind of like that one.
Yeah.
Just because that you give Gabi every day at bats. Give Arias every day at bats at shortstop. And maybe he can run with it without having to look over his shoulder every day.
Right. And you do have Freeman who can play the infield if necessary.
Yeah.
It leaves you a little thin in terms of depth at second, short, and third.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
but
it's a stopgap measure. It's not a long-term thing. It's maybe Rocchio can figure some things out in AAA.
And then you bring him back.
If Arias runs with the job at shortstop, all the better for it. And
Right.
then if it doesn't work, you can always adjust. You can bring Rocchio back up, whatever.
Yeah, there's just no reason to have Manzardo in the minors. He's done all he could do in the minors.
I agree.
He's 24 years old.
Yeah.
Let's go. We got to see him
24.
here.
Almost 24.
Almost 24. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's time to call him up. So I'm gonna say he's up in the next 2 weeks. If he's not, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I can't argue that.
They already, unless he wins Rookie of the Year, they've already got the 7th year on him.
Yes.
So let's go. I mean, it's
Plus,
enough already.
If you're him,
yeah.
you got to be pretty aggravated.
I know.
Plus, if you're looking at this, again, he's 23, almost 24, and they did steal the extra year.
Right.
He's not going to hit free agency now till 30-31.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Oh,
Right.
I'd be upset.
I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
And listen, he was with the Rays until late last year.
Wait, Jason, hold on. He wouldn't hit free agency now until 30-31. The 7 years starts now?
This would be the first of the 7 years.
once you call him up, the clock starts ticking when you call him up.
Unless he wins Rookie of the Year.
And well, he'd have to finish top 3.
Right,
You get
right,
an
top
extra
3.
year of service time if you finish top 3 in Rookie of the Year.
Yes.
Which they got burned on Bybee last year.
Right.
So he lost that extra year of service time. So the clock starts when you get called up, and so this year won't count on his service time because
This will be the
enough time
first
has
of
passed.
7 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it will count, but
Right.
it won't count as a full season.
Right. Yes.
So he would be, he'd be
Yeah.
30.
If this is when does he turn 24? Do you know?
July. I think July.
So technically, this is his age 23 season. So 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So the year he'd become a free agent, he will have just turned 30 that July.
So he can't get the bag until 30.
Right. Well, he'll get paid. If he's good, he'll get paid.
He'll get paid in arbitration.
Good money in arbitration.
Man, hey,
But he's not going to be a free agent until he's 30 unless he finishes top 3
I'm about to
Rookie of the Year this
I'm
year.
about to protest for him. That's what
Hey, listen, you can't kill the Guardians. Just got him at the end of last year.
What my
but-
boy Brad say? That right there, that's some BS right there.
So at this point, it's just silly that he's in the minors. Because, I mean, add him to the lineup. If he plays to the level he's capable of, it's a much better lineup.
Yeah.
Listen, Naylor's been great. Kwan's been great. Ramirez has been fine. We could use more out of him, but he's been fine. He's been hot lately. Jimenez has been good, but he hasn't hit any home runs.
Right.
The rest of the lineup's been,
It's funny how you look at the last couple of years at how they've handled prospects because they
Yep.
slow played Bo Naylor, and I know they took a lot of grief for that he
Yep.
wasn't ready defensively or whatever
Yep.
else. And Bo struggled this year.
He has struggled big time. He's not hitting at all.
And yet Quan was a day one starter.
He was.
As a rookie, they didn't try and manipulate service time or anything.
Nope.
He was ready to go.
Yep.
And now with Manzardo, they seem to be slow playing this. There has to be a reason why. Whether it's they can't decide which guy to move off of on
Yeah.
the major league roster, or I can't imagine what's left for him to do.
No,
at
I
AAA.
understood. He didn't play that much for them last year, so
Right.
I understood him
He was
not
hurt.
starting the season in the majors.
He was hurt.
But at this point, 6 homers, he's hitting 300. What was his OPS, Mike? 9 something.
Yeah, 986.
I mean, he's got almost 1,000 OPS in AAA. He's got nothing left to prove there.
Yeah.
He can play the field. Let's go. They got to bring him up. It doesn't make any sense. By the way, none of us had a chance to talk about this. The Guardians played the Braves over the weekend, and Zach and I.
Series.
It was a great series.
They should have won 2-1.
We talked about this last week. There's really no measuring sticks.
Right.
But
I liked it.
the Braves are the best team in baseball.
Yes.
That's it. End of conversation.
And they're not hitting it well right now. They're not
No,
playing
but
their
their
best.
lineup is loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded. And we saw it. They have good pitching. But yet the Guardians, the Braves offense didn't go crazy against the Guardians. The Guardians pitched pretty well this weekend. Hunter Gaddis, who's been fantastic, killed him in that one inning.
Yep.
The base, Stephen Kwan, one of the smartest guys in baseball, what he was doing in the 10th inning
is inexcusable.
I don't know what happened there.
I mean, everybody has a brain fart.
Yeah, he had
a
brain fart. I don't know what happened. That was crazy. I don't know why he's even trying to steal third there with Jose and Naylor coming up.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is what it is. They blew that game. They let it get away. They, for what it's worth, they played toe-to-toe with the best team in baseball.
Yeah, it's April.
Right. You don't want to read too much into it.
But it was a fun. I mean, my son and I were watching every inning. We watched every inning of that series.
But the thing is, and Zach and I were talking about this yesterday. When a team surprises you with a good start, like the Guardians have, I think there's three options. At the end of April, I say, okay, are they great as they've played? Are they good, and they're going to be a contender?
Yeah.
Or is this all a mirage?
Yeah.
I'm convinced it's not number three. It's not a mirage.
It's not a mirage.
I don't know if they're great or they're good. That I'm not sure yet. But they're not a mirage. They have every opportunity to win this division, despite the fact that there were issues in the pitching staff. But the front office and ownership has to be aggressive, whether that's calling up Manzardo now, eventually DeLauder or whoever, and at some point, it's going to include making a trade.
The pitching is what could derail it. When have we ever said that about this team?
And I was just saying trade for Jesus Luzardo, and then he got hurt.
He's hurt now, too, yeah.
But they're going to need to trade for a starting pitcher, and maybe two at some point, because the bullpen is going to get cooked because they are working way too much because nobody's going deep in the
what
games.
is Gavin's status? Because he had a step back.
I don't know. I mean,
it's very concerning.
He's probably at least best case scenario a month away.
Mean, I went back and looked at it again. They're calling it inflammation. Well, that's what, and I'm not saying inflammation is very broad.
Sure.
I'm just saying the Yankees called Garrett Cole inflammation as well.
Right.
And
he's going to miss 2 months at least.
More.
Yeah.
More. He won't be back. I think I just saw Ken Rosenthal say he's eligible to come off the DL at the end of May.
Right.
Like May 26th, and he's not going to be ready. So now Gavin was mid-March, so we're 6 weeks in. I have no idea what the timeline is.
If he's pitching by June, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
At this point.
How's McKenzie been?
Up and down. Velocity still down.
He just doesn't look like the pitcher we've seen before.
He's not the Tristan of old. No, he's not.
That hurts my heart.
So I mean, they need, and Bibby's rounding into form, and they need Tanner Bibby more than ever right now.
Listen, I have no worries about him, but I don't trust anybody in the rotation besides him.
You don't like Ben Lively?
He's done a decent job.
He's been good.
He's a journeyman.
It's at some point.
Yeah,
there's going to be regression to the mean.
I do have one more Guardians question for you guys, and you slightly touched on it, but Jimenez is hitting 275. He's got 15 runs batted in. But the power over the last season and now change of whatever you want to call this season has disappeared. Can you put your finger on why the power numbers for him have dropped, and was his 2022 season where he hit almost 20 home runs, is that going to end up being the anomaly in his game? Or is there something bigger at work here to why he's not hitting for power the same way he was as a rookie?
I don't really see anything specifically in his swing.
Yeah, I haven't really poked around on that. I can.
What did he finish last year with? How many home runs did he hit last year?
I'm looking up right now.
I think it was like 14, I want to say.
Yeah, I mean.
Ish.
I don't know that he's a 20 home run hitter.
He had 17 in 22.
Yeah.
He had 15 in 23.
So it was only a 2 home run difference.
Where is he at now?
0.
Really?
I mean, I think it is what it is. He's a teen. He's a teens home run hitter.
I don't think Spencer Torkelson's hit a home run yet.
He is not.
So
I got him on my fantasy team. I know. I'm very frustrated by that. I've been starting him every day. I'm like, he's going to hit 3 home runs one of these days. What is happening? But he's a power hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, he hit 30
but I'm just saying, just because it's the end of the month,
right,
I mean, one of the best power hitters, young power hitters in the game, doesn't have a home run yet.
Yeah, but Jimenez is not a 20 home run guy. I mean, he has never done it. 17's his most. So I think he'll get on a streak. I think he's playing fine.
Yeah.
But you don't want to see him with 0 home runs.
I think when he hit 17 and 22, you're expecting that arrow to keep going up.
Right.
At the time.
And I think he's just going to be a guy that's around 15 home runs every year. That's going to be what he is.
The defense that he plays, if he hits 15 home runs and steals 25, 30 bases, which I think he's more than capable
and hits
of doing.
280 and gets on base, that's what you want. He'll pick it up with the home runs. I bet he'll finish with 15.
In my opinion, he's the best defensive second baseman in baseball, and it's not close. Like he's sensational.
He's great.
Could he be the shortstop?
Oh,
you guys
easy.
talking about Rocchio?
Easy.
No, I know he could.
He could
but
play.
I'm saying,
Well, he came up as a shortstop.
No, I
Yeah.
know, but I'm saying when
Yeah.
you guys mentioned earlier about who you have to DFA or who to get rid of to make a roster spot for Manzardo, Rocchio came up. I know Arias has played some short. Freeman has played short in the past, but would you consider sliding Jimenez over to shortstop as a more difficult defensive position and bringing those other guys in at second?
It's something, probably not, because he's become so elite at second base that I wouldn't want to mess with it. But I'll tell you this. If the Guardians got really aggressive and could somehow trade for a center fielder,
Yeah.
I would consider sliding him to short and moving Tyler Freeman to second.
Yeah. I mean, that's Freeman's natural spot.
Right. And
is
Freeman's
second.
done a nice job in center.
Yeah.
But listen, this team needs some extra things.
Right.
One of them is Manzardo. Get him up.
Yeah. And
What position is he?
First base.
I would be fine moving Jimenez to short, actually, if you have the right second baseman.
Right.
Juan Brito is a guy. That's who they got in the Nolan Jones trade. He's actually not hitting well right now. He's scuffling a little bit at AAA, but they're very high on him. And that could be a move maybe if they can't find an external option when he's ready, which he's not.
Right.
But if and when he's ready. And that moving Jimenez sort of feels like a off-season thing, not a July thing.
Yeah. I
Unless
think in a perfect world, they'd still rather find a shortstop because even though he easily could do it and would be great.
I mean, it's like Quan in left.
Yeah.
Like
right. He's the best at second, so you'd rather not mess with it.
Yeah.
You'd rather not mess with it.